I think we should give this thing a test. What do you think? All right, this is going to be our tester piece. I'm not going to do any big slabs or anything because I don't need to right now, but I do want to see how the system works, having never used it before because I just built it. But you can see there's a pretty serious bow in that guy there. Got a little bit of a twist as well. If you're not familiar with how this kind of system works, what you do is you establish kind of the wonkiness of it, where it's at its worst, and then you shim underneath the high point just to make sure that it doesn't have any wobble anymore. That's pretty good feeling right there. That way when you come over it, you're going to end up flattening your surface. As the surface flattens, you then are able to remove the shims, flip this over. So you're going to see that process now. You can see the idea how it's taking out the high spot. These are obviously low spots here. That's a low spot over there. But you can see how it's smoothing out and cleaning up the high spots. And you just do this until the whole board is flat and clear. And then at that point, when it's all flat and clear, you flip it over and you no longer need the shim in there because you've got a dead flat surface. So that's the concept, and it worked really good. I do have a plan for preventing the dust from shooting out. That shot a fair bit of dust. The system is notoriously dirty. That's why I put the dust collection in there, which worked for a little bit. But when I took a deeper cut, it definitely shot dust everywhere. With that being said, this is the messy cut room, so that's the thing. Also, I am going to have a little skirt that's going to be down here underneath. And there's going to be a little skirt that comes down that'll be on the workpiece, preventing that dust from flying out and kind of trapping it inside the unit. But man, I'm going to call that. That's operational. We put this kind of foam that we use, same stuff we used on our chop saw station, on here as a skirt to help prevent dust from flying out so badly and hopefully maintain in the dust collection. We put it in the areas where most of the dust flies out based on the router and how it spits the dust out. So that now when we're on the material, you know, we're basically going along and you can see how that dust shroud kind of stops the dust from coming out. So the hope is that this is going to increase and improve our dust collection. And then also what we did is we created some elevators. And what these are is just a bunch of dead flat strips of different dimension materials. We have a bunch of them. So like this is 3/4 and I got 6 of these. And I got 4 or 5 of these 1/2 inch. And in our system that you saw earlier, we have these long runners. Well, when the runners are here, and then when our tracks are on top, and our router is sitting on top, there's the potential, right? We're this high up. There's the potential for the material we're working on to be thicker than the actual height allows with just this runner on the table surface. So if we have an elevated or an extra thick piece of lumber we need to do, we can go up by 1/2 inch, we can go up by 3/4 of an inch, we can go up by 1 1/4 inches, and so on. And we can just stack however many we want to elevate our main track, giving us that clearance for our sled. So just a couple last minute little things, you know, to show you guys that kind of help this system become more versatile. Because in theory, I can just keep stacking these boards up as I want. I mean, I could have something up here this high and router sled it dead flat. Of course, I wouldn't use this many boards. I'd probably build a different rig. Oh, wait. This is one I built a while back for a customer that I did when I needed to do some slab flattening of these big chunks of wood that he wanted to be square for end tables. So we put the base here, we shimmed it up here, just like I've shown you in previous videos. And then this became our area where we would run our sled back and forth. And that was actually used on this kind of system here. And we just had our router on top and we would just go back and forth and back and forth. This system now with the newer rig that we're running is going to be a little bit different in that sense, but it'll work out really well. So you can do tall stuff too. You can router sled tall stuff too. Just, modifications, build in templates and jigs and stands, and just keep messing with it. You just keep messing with it. All right. Thanks, guys.